Hi, welcome to I Should Be Writing. This is a podcast for wannabe fiction writers, other creatives, people who've been fiction writing for decades. Whatever, we welcome you. Happy to have you here. My name is Mer Lafferty. I have published 8 novels and self-published several novellas. I have been podcasting since 2004, and I like to talk about writing a lot because I'm still doing it. And luckily, I have with me Valerie Valdes, who, if you're a listener to just listening to the stream, you will have just heard Valerie from like 2 months ago because I was lost track of everything. But yeah, talk about her new book. But also, Valerie has another awesome thing about her, which is kind of sad now, but it's the fact that Valerie was a municipal liaison. I said it right. Municipal liaison for NaNoWriMo, the sadly now ended and defunct nonprofit organization. Valerie, thank you for coming back on the show to work with me to say NaNoWriMo is not dead, or NaNoWriMo is dead, long live NaNoWriMo, something. Mm-hmm. Valerie, hi.
Hi, it is my pleasure to be here, even if I don't know how to count.
Yeah. I think you should have just gone with the fact that you've only got 9 toes.
Well, I donated one to a cause.
There you go.
I cannot say more.
You are a philanthropist. Philanthropist municipal liaison.
It does sound a little drunken when you say it, doesn't it?
It does.
It doesn't trip off the tongue very easily.
Yes. So we've talked about this on numerous podcasts, and if you're interested in NaNoWriMo, you probably already know, so we're not going to go into it. NaNoWriMo's gone. It was a nonprofit organization for 25 years. It crashed and burned. It doesn't exist anymore. But that also means there's no one around to tell us to stop using the term NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. So there's a lot of people who are gearing up to write 50,000 words in the coming weeks, starting some at midnight tonight. Valerie, how I always worry about you because you're always so pleasant, but I know you deal with a lot of crap. Valerie and I are also co-editors of Escape Pod, so I see Valerie on a lot of different levels: friend, podcast buddy, streamer, and editor. But you always seem very well in. You've got a handle on things. I always feel like you've got a handle on everything, and I was very sad and worried about you when NaNoWriMo died because that was something that you believed in a lot, and you were always, it fit your super organized world that you would naturally go out and help people with wanting to write 50,000 words in 30 days. So how are you?
Well, I'm struggling, but that's I feel like the world is on fire right now, and so some of us put on our suits and we just keep, walking through the flames. We've got our oxygen tanks, we've got our fire retardant clothing, and we're just doing our best out here. And so I will say that losing the NaNoWriMo infrastructure definitely made it orders of magnitude more difficult to be able to organize things this month, because there are a lot of people out there who are just taking it upon themselves to do their own events, whether on a small or large scale, but just losing the ability to say, here is a website. They also are doing sort of coordinated international activities or national or local. It's a lot. It's a lot harder to try to spin up that stuff all by yourself, 100%, than it was when you were one of many people who was doing it simultaneously. And so losing that sucked a lot.
And there's something I think a lot of people don't take into account, which is when something started small and then grows to something massive. And it dies, you can't replace it on that scale.
Yeah.
I was part of their writer board, which I don't even think was very public, or they ever used me as the writer advisory board or something. And when they crashed and burned, someone sent me kind of a strident email saying that, as a writer on the board, it should be part of my responsibility to remake NaNoWriMo. And I'm like, have you met writers? I mean, yes, it took someone who wanted to write a novel in November to get it started. Mm-hmm. But the infrastructure and the people who keep it going, that's database people, that's web mm-hmm. designers, that's nonprofit people, lawyer mm-hmm. types, that's so much. And, one of the things that I try to give them, like, a tiny bit of I understand, because when things started to go bad, it started in the forums. I started my web career moderating forums in 1999.
It's a thankless job.
And
it's a lot.
It was for people who play Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. So it wasn't even like Dragon Age fans. It was like tactical shoot 'em ups. And strangely, I made one of my longest standing friends in that server. But apart from him, it's like it was not a good experience. And so when things started to go bad on the server, I at least understood. I'm like, this is a mess. And this is hard to do. It's hard to manage forums. It's hard to manage forums, especially when you offer something like the Young Writers Program and invite children on your mm-hmm. forums. So when the problem was, they dealt with it in the worst ways possible by like nuking the forums from orbit, because it was the only way to be sure. But what I'm trying to say is, we can't remake NaNoWriMo now, because you can't just take this behemoth and copy it and just bring back another behemoth. It started small and it grew. And now we are all continuing in our own ways, I guess.
Yeah. I feel like anytime someone starts a sentence with, why don't you just immediately stop listening to them. Just close your ears, and if you can, walk away, because whatever they say after that is probably going to be completely useless.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that has happened a lot with the attempts by other people to armchair quarterback this nano stuff. They have a lot of ideas of, why don't you just do this? Why don't you just do that? Because none of us have the time, the money, the skill set, the energy to do all of those things. And again, as a municipal liaison, I had sort of a very narrow range of duties that were supported by an infrastructure that if I attempted to duplicate that infrastructure, I would fail. I simply do not have the skill set. I don't have the money. I can't spin up a website with hundreds of thousands of users out of nothing and then pay for it with what?
Yeah, with what? So let's go over some of the things that people are offering writers during this time. You are always good at keeping up with stuff like that, so I'll let you start.
Doing my best here. Okay, so we're going to start with Nano 2.0, which is the website that has been put together by some of the former Nano organizers. And I'm going to be dropping these links in chat as I talk about them, or trying to do so anyway.
And we'll put them in the show notes.
Yeah. So Nano 2.0 is essentially, what if Nano without any of the infrastructure? What it has done essentially is describe what Nano is, what it does, and then provide, some sort of like informational type stuff, some resources, some cute writer swag. There's a blog, there's a young novelist site. But essentially what it has done is it has provided links to other places, other communities that are doing NaNoWriMo. So it is the bare bones version of what is Nano, how do you do it, how can you do it now in the absence of the infrastructure. Here are some links, here are some ideas and methodologies, and here's other people you could maybe do it with. So that is sort of the, I guess, easiest and most straightforward ability to do the thing, is you can go there and you can check out some of their suggested communities. Just follow your Nano rules and do it yourself. You don't have to do it with other people. You can absolutely write 50,000 words in November all by your lonesome, But the whole point of it is community. So finding a community is really the struggle here. So they do have a bunch of different links available in the interests of that. I'm going to run through them, but again, you can go to the website and check them out. There's a Shut Up and Write, which is a nonprofit with participants kind of all over the world. They have in-person and online writing sessions. They do online events every day. So, and some people with local chapters have kind of joined up with that. There's the Pathfinders Writing Collective, and then there's For the Words, which, as you know,
yes, that's my favorite. That's what I was going to talk about.
Yeah, so I'll let you talk about that one. I won't dig into that. There's Novel Quest, which is again that was created by some people. It includes a few Nano 2.0 volunteers. So intended to be an annual challenge in November. Write Your Damn Novel. It's a writing podcast and Discord community run by Christina Horner and Liz Leo. Again, longtime NaNoWriMo participants and Nano 2.0 members. NaNoWriMo.ca, the Canadian folks, they just revived it. They took the domain, they remade it. So now they also have some stuff there. There's also Rough Draft Month that occurs in November. They use a TrackBear leaderboard, which we in your Discord, I believe, are also using. I think
TrackBear, yes.
Yeah, I think FireWriter put that one together for us. So if you're not in Mer's Discord already, now's the time to join up. And then there's the Rough Draft Challenge, which is it started on a YouTube channel by someone who goes by Heart Breathings. Has a website. You can log stuff. I haven't been able to check it out more thoroughly because if you go to that website, it's basically like sign up, and I am not going to sign up to find out what's going on. I don't like it.
Don't like it when people do that. You got to tell me what the thing is before you make me sign up.
Yeah, not my best faith. If you want to go all out, so I actually follow Kate Kavanaugh Writes on Twitch. So Kate Kavanaugh is pretty cool. This is also linked on the Nano 2.0 site, so you don't have to remember this off the top of your head. But Kate participates in Millwordy, which is 1 million words in a year. And I have never been able to successfully complete that myself, but I have done a quarter Millwordy, 250,000 words in a year, which is actually not like that unreasonable. It's basically two novels in a year plus. So if you want to try that, that's a year-round option that you can get into. And so those are the ones that are listed on the Nano 2.0 website. But
that's
wait, there's more.
700 words a day.
It's no a lot breaks. Of words. I do not write that fast. I simply do not. I'm sorry. Wow. Or you're welcome. I can't. But I can't remember what 250,000 words was. It's whatever that is divided by 4. So it's not, that one's a little more reasonable and manageable, even if you kind of like take breaks and take it in chunks and whatever. So
that would be 684 words a day.
Yeah, that one is like, doable. That's not even 1,000, right? That's definitely much, because I know a lot of people that do 500 words a day, and that'll probably get you in like the 200,000 word range. Again, that one's a lot more manageable, I think, because then, I couldn't write today, but tomorrow I'll write 1,000 words, and that's not that bad either. That's still less than a nano. So, and
everything I've heard about trying to build habits is take one day off, but don't take 2.
Yeah,
and so don't build that into I'll do 1,500 words day after tomorrow kind of thing.
It totally depends on the person, though, because some people I know, they really do write best in bursts. And so for people like that, I usually say track weekly instead of daily, which is also fine. And so if you say to yourself, well, I'm going to write, let's do math, 3,500 words a week. Yes, I can do math again. That's probably not even right, but that's 500 words a day. I think. I feel like I should reach your calculator. Sounds right. So 3,500 words a week. If you're the kind of person that can sit down and write 3,500 words in a day, and then you just need the rest of the week to recover, that's a perfectly valid way of writing. Like set aside Saturday or whatever. And
I've actually been thinking about that in that when I was finishing my novel in September, I was able to write that many words a day. I knew it wasn't sustainable, but I was impressed with the fact that I actually could do that. And a friend of mine said, it could be that you're focusing on one thing. And so now when I go back to regular life of podcast and escape pod and managing the Patreon and stuff, it's like, I've thought if I just take one thing a day and hyper focus on that one thing a day, even if that's writing, that would get me further in all of the things I do than trying to do a number of things during a day and just failing, as you say, fart noise. So it's
yeah. So much of this is just figuring out your own process. And the only way, unfortunately, the only way to do that is to try different things and fail at them until you find one that you don't fail at.
Yeah.
And that's a sucky way to go, but it is valid. That's the scientific method, more or less. So it's not fun. Nobody likes it. Nobody's having a good time. But part of it, too, is just if you are enjoying the writing itself, then the figuring out, the try, fail, try, succeed cycle is a little bit easier than
try, fail, try, 16 cycle? What is this?
The try, fail, try, succeed. Like,
succeed? I thought you said 16.
Like, no. I mean, if you have to do it 16 times, I guess that's a way, but I'm not going to tell you how many times you have to do.
Yes. Try, fail, try, 16. I'm going to write that down and get that URL just in case we ever make something of that.
So speaking of URLs, okay, I'm going to head into more alternatives. Okay. So Dream Foundry is doing their fall challenge, whose name I absolutely forget every single time. But if you join the Dream Foundry Discord, I put Dream Foundry in the chat, you can definitely join up and do the thing with a bunch of other sci-fi, fantasy, horror writers. I believe that their event also is open to artists who are or musicians, because while Dream Foundry is primarily writers, that's more like a self-selected group. They're intended to be for all sorts of different kinds of sort of artistic endeavors. So if you feel like not writing but doing a different thing in November, you could do it there too. World Anvil, which is primarily a kind of a wiki world guide wiki creation thing where you can put together your story bibles for your worlds. They are doing Novelember. They also have World Ember, but I think that's in April possibly. Anyway, I'm going to link to the homepage for that, but you can create a free account and you can join in with other people who are doing novel stuff on World Anvil. I will only caution you that for the free account, I believe everything that you write is public. I don't think there's a way to make it private. So that is my main caution there. I believe that's the case. The subscription service there, I don't think it's terribly expensive, but I think you do have to be a subscriber to be able to have private stuff.
Okay.
So that... it's up to you.
I love the people at World Anvil. I've been on their show before.
Oh no, they're great. Yeah,
but that's a little off-putting. To go back to writing on the web, I'm going to go back to For the Words, which I talk about all the time because I think it's a lot of fun. For the Words, if you haven't heard me wax philosophic about it, is basically gamifying writing by putting monsters in your way that you have to write a certain number of words or at a certain rate to defeat them. And when you defeat them, you get drops, you finish quests, you get loot, you get to buy clothing for your avatar. It's just typical. It's like all good computer games. It's just an outfit simulator, but it's an outfit simulator driven by your words. And I have they're also a for pay, but I don't think they make any of your stuff public. But they do give you a grace period, I think, to test it out. And November's a great time to do it. The only thing I don't like about them is in order to, defeat these monsters, you have to write on the site itself. Mm-hmm. And I just usually end up writing mine and then copying it over to Scrivener, which makes all of the stuff in my For the Words folder just a big mess. It's just a nightmare in there. But it's fun to do, and I really like the killing monsters aspect of it. Unfortunately, I haven't done it on a sustainable level enough to really focus on finishing quests. Mm-hmm. But they always have a big quest thing in November. And I just think it's a lot of fun. I am a pay for yearly member, and I just think it's fun. I keep saying that, but writing is not fun. It makes you bleed. It makes you bleed, sweat bleed out of your face and stuff, and it sucks. And this makes it's like, well, if I'm bleeding, at least I can say I fought a monster at the same time instead of trying to figure out that love scene that doesn't sound terrible. So I'm still a fan. If you want to friend me on it, I can just Mighty Mer is the usual name. I should do a giveaway of like a membership or something.
That'd be cool.
I'll do that the next stream. Better write that down.
Oh yeah. That would be fun.
Are you on For the Words, Valerie?
I am not. I've never done it. I'm one of those people that gets like very nervous about writing in sites that are not, you know what I'm saying, for saving purposes. I just get anxious.
That's why I always just copy paste. I don't leave anything there.
Right. I'm also just a very slow writer, and so the stress of trying to beat something that will stress me out. That's not ideal for me.
Not a good stress.
Yeah, like there's like Ride or Die is another one that, you know, it has different modes and it is trying to kind of encourage you to do the thing. But yeah, it's not good stress for me. It's too much. It's stress.
Yeah, so, Ride or Die does, if you stop writing, it starts to play terrible music or make the screen flash. Or if you want the worst level of all, which I can't even imagine anybody would do this, it starts deleting your words. And considering that, I don't know, if you have a child, a pet, a spouse, if you live in a space where there's noise happening somewhere, it's like getting up and checking to see what went crash in the other room. You don't want that to destroy your chapter. So I don't even get that level. But For the Words actually implemented a way to do that similarly, which is you have hit points and you need to fight a monster. And if you stop writing, then you start to lose those hit points. Yeah. And so I found that to be pretty invigorating. Not invigorating. Yeah. What's the word I'm looking for?
Motivating?
Motivating, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Words, man. They're hard.
Who even? Yeah. Words are fake. I don't believe in them. Like birds.
Yeah. Valerie, what are you doing during November? What are you doing as a creative person?
Well, I am going to be working on the sequel to Wish You Would. So I'm about halfway through that, and I need to finish it. And that's what I'm going to do.
Awesome.
I'm gonna finish it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got 2 things I'm working on. One of them is more of a project it's like a found footage thing that I want to make into a physical thing, and I don't know if I should count that because it's more of a, it feels like more of a putting a puzzle together rather for me than just writing 1600 words in a day. But it will take work, so I'm not quite sure how to measure that. But I also have a book that I'm writing out of spite that I started today and got 200 words in before I had to run away to all the errands. But I might just make that my November project because it was a lot of fun to start. And when we're done, I want to share my first sentence with you because I've never been this proud of a first sentence. So I'm very happy with it. Yeah, the other project's going to need Canva work, and I don't know how to measure that if I'm supposed to be counting words.
Yeah, usually you can go by time. That was the official NaNoWriMo
time
alternative. Yeah, you can. So in order to accommodate a variety of different projects, you can either do, for example, pages if you're editing. You can do it by word count if you're editing as well. You can do it by time.
Yeah.
If you're doing poetry, you can do it by lines. Pages was also used for screenwriting, I believe. As another way. Yeah. And if you're doing it by songs, I think you can do it by minute, something like that. So there's a lot of different methodologies out there that you could apply to the system in which you give yourself a monthly goal, whatever it is. Let's say you're going to write 30 songs in 30 days. Let's say you're going to, write 30 poems in 30 days or whatever it is. You give yourself a goal. You do it.
From chat, we have, I haven't said hello to anybody. I'm very sorry. I'm a little discombobulated today. But Fire Rider's here and Crystal Briar's here. Happy Halloween. Hetman says, great spooky vibe. And Chelinator, one of your favorite community members, has said something about your new book, Valerie, that it's not just the sequel to the one that's on the shelf. It's something else. right?
Yeah, no, it is the sequel to the one, but it does in fact have sexy library shenanigans.
Yep.
This is what's happening in the sequel.
Sexy library shenanigans. So
get ready.
There was sexy reality show cooking shenanigans in the first one.
Yeah.
So yes, I recommend Valerie's current book, Which You Would, and I finished it, which is big for me these days.
It's tough out there.
Yeah, so I had a lot of fun with your book. So I can definitely endorse it. Yes, endorsing. Like I said, it's a busy day for me. This is why I don't normally do a Halloween stream, because it is my anniversary tonight. So I am going to get off here and go make dinner for my sweetie, and while the kid gives out candy. Valerie, thank you so much for being here and talking about NaNoWriMo and what we can do. Let's tell us where to find you online.
You can find me at valerievaldes.com. You can also find me on Twitch as the kids are asleep, which is when we used to stream, but now the kids usually aren't asleep.
Yeah, the kids are going to grow up, and then you're going to be like, man, they're not kids, and they're not asleep, and they're not even here. And what are you going to call yourself on Twitch then? Actually, it's pretty easy to change your Twitch name, so that's not going to be a problem. Are you going to be continuing your gaming streams in November, or are you going to be turning them into writing streams?
Going to be continuing them, but I am doing a stream for 100 hours of writing, which is, let me also drop that link in chat, ohow.net. That is next weekend, I believe. I would have to check my calendar to know, and it is too far away. So, yeah. But if you want to do a 100-hour-long Twitch marathon of different streamers raiding into each other's channels and just constantly writing, that's one thing you could do next weekend.
ohow.net.
Yeah. I'm also participating in Game of Tomes again, which is kind of in concert with World Anvil, but it's essentially like, do you want to role play your way through writing 50,000 words? You could.
Interesting.
Also an option.
Okay.
It's basically like join a team, and then the words that you write contribute to your team's goal, and then the winner is, wins. whoever gets the most words is the winner. Hooray.
Yes, the winner wins. That's what we're all looking for.
I'm a writer. I'm a professional.
I know. And you've got to save your words for the page. You can't waste them on these people.
You too can put together really fascinating sentences like the winner wins.
Yes. I am Mer Lafferty. I also have a really cool community. You can get there via Patreon or Twitch. Patreon.com/MightyMer and Twitch.tv/MightyMer. And I'm going to be doing some cool stuff in November. It's just not public yet because I just got back from vacation and I'm a little scatterbrained. But I will be doing some write-ins on Twitch during the day. I don't know. I can't organize myself that well. I'll be here writing sometimes, and I'll be not streaming and writing sometimes. I'm kind of a mess that way. I really need like a producer just to manage all this crap, but it's me. So Merverse.com is where you can see all of my crap, and also Infinite Archive is on the shelves now. It is murder and space and cats and cozy things. So if you like murder and science fiction and cozy mysteries, then it's for you.
And fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I have another book called 6 Wakes that's not as fun, but still with murder. And I've had people say, like, what do I read after 6 Wakes? And I'm like, well, I have this other thing with murder, but it's much more cozy and less visceral description of blood in 0G. Thank you, Chelinator. I appreciate that 6 Wakes was the bomb. I'm just saying that tone-wise, 6 Wakes is darker than the Station Eternity and Chaos Terminal and Infinite Archive. So
it's like people coming from Chilling Effect to Which You Would. It's like, well, it's funny.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, got some humor, got some murder. More humor in the second one. So, yes. Tina is absolutely cozy. Man, Tina is the coziest, and she will tell you. She swears, And I once had a teacher in my MFA program say that there's no such thing as a cozy. But a lot of us, the mystery writer that we had in our group is just like, yeah, I'm going to write a cozy. I don't care what she says. Yeah, so thank you guys for coming to the stream. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I'm going to keep up my Thursday streams at 3 p.m. Eastern Time in November. I'm going to have a couple of guests as well. And if I am better at organizing the way I want to be, I will let people know who those are before it actually starts. So, yeah.
And just right now on Twitch, we do have a writers and readers category, like writing and reading category now. And
cool.
you can check that out, and the co-working category. Both of those, you are potentially going to find some really useful streams that you can get work done in for the entire month of November. So
yes,
just note, categories exist now. You can do it.
Well, thank you guys. And whether you are doing a big November project or not, you should be writing. Thank you for listening to I Should Be Writing, the longest running writing podcast in existence. This episode was made possible by the Fabulous, who support the podcast via Patreon or Substack. Join the Fabulous at patreon.com/mightymur or mightymur.substack.com. Theme music provided by John Anelio, art provided by Numbers Ninja, and podcast hosting provided by Libsyn. This episode is released under Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives 4.0 license. You can find all of my books and podcasts at merverse.com.
I should be writing. I should be submitting my next draft, but I'm sitting home watching Doctor Who. Yeah, I'm sitting home watching Doctor Who.